Introduction. Unlock the power of behavioral analysis in negotiation. Welcome to our journey into the art of negotiation. Did you know that only 7% of communication is based on the actual words we say? The remaining 93% is through non-verbal cues and tone of voice. Shocking, right? In this video, we'll explore 6 unique strategies that can transform your negotiation skills. You'll learn how to decode hidden emotions with micro-expressions, tune into vocal cues with paralinguistics, and unveil unspoken signals through body language. But that's not all. We'll dive into behavioral profiling to predict your counterpart's moves, navigate cultural nuances to avoid missteps, and use psychological triggers to subtly influence outcomes. Imagine negotiating with the precision of an FBI agent or a top business executive. Each chapter is packed with practical tips, real-world examples, and fascinating facts. Did you know that people trained in reading micro-expressions are more successful negotiators? Or that understanding cultural differences can prevent 70% of failed negotiations? By the end of this video, you'll have a toolbox of powerful strategies. These will help you negotiate better deals, build stronger relationships, and achieve your goals with confidence. Chapter 1. Mastering Micro-Expressions. Decode hidden emotions. Mastering micro-expressions can truly elevate your negotiation skills. Micro-expressions are brief, involuntary facial expressions that reveal genuine emotions. Did you know they last only about 1/25 of a second? That's fast, but with practice, you can learn to spot them. Paul Ekman, a psychologist who studied emotions and facial expressions, discovered that these micro-expressions are universal. Whether you're negotiating in New York or Tokyo, a flash of anger or surprise looks the same. This means you can use this skill with anyone, anywhere. To start, familiarize yourself with the 7 universal micro-expressions: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust, and contempt. Watch videos or use training tools available online to practice. When you're negotiating, pay close attention to the other person's face. A quick frown might indicate displeasure with your offer, even if they say otherwise. A brief smile can suggest they're pleased, even if they're trying to play hardball. Interestingly, research shows that people who can read micro-expressions are more successful negotiators. They understand their counterparts better and can adjust their strategies accordingly. A study by Dr. David Matsumoto found that negotiators who received training in micro-expression recognition significantly improved their negotiation outcomes. But how do you use this in a real negotiation? Let's say you notice a flicker of surprise when you mention a price. This might mean your offer is better than they expected. You can use this information to push for a quicker agreement. On the flip side, if you see a flash of anger or disgust, it might be a sign to adjust your approach. Address their concerns or reframe your offer to make it more appealing. Chapter 2. The Power of Paralinguistics. Tune into vocal cues next. Let's talk about paralinguistics. This is the study of vocal cues that go beyond the actual words spoken. Tone, pitch, and pace can all give insights into what someone is truly feeling. Imagine someone saying, "I'm fine," but in a flat, monotone voice. You probably wouldn't believe them, right? That's paralinguistics in action. Research shows that up to 38% of communication is vocal tone. This means how something is said can be more important than what is said. For example, a study by Dr. Albert Mehrabian revealed that tone of voice conveys more emotion than the words themselves. When negotiating, listen to changes in pitch. A higher pitch might indicate stress or anxiety. If your counterpart's pitch rises when discussing certain points, they might be uncomfortable or hiding something. Pay attention to the speed of speech as well. Rapid speech can suggest excitement or nervousness, while slow speech can indicate careful thought or uncertainty. If someone starts talking faster, it might be a sign they're eager to reach an agreement or are anxious about the negotiation. Volume is another crucial factor. Speaking softly might suggest lack of confidence or hesitation, while a loud voice can imply confidence or even aggression. Adjust your strategy based on these cues to either reassure or assert yourself as needed. Consider pauses in conversation, too. Long pauses can indicate that the person is thinking carefully, while short, quick answers might suggest they are not being entirely truthful or are trying to rush through the discussion. Here's a tip: mirror your counterpart's vocal cues. If they are speaking softly and slowly, match their pace and tone. This can build rapport and make them feel more at ease. A unique fact is that effective negotiators often use a technique called upward inflection to keep the conversation open. Ending sentences with a slight rise in pitch, like a question, encourages dialogue and shows openness to negotiation. Chapter 3. Body Language Brilliance. Unveil in spoken signals. Body language is a fascinating aspect of human communication. It's often said that actions speak louder than words, and in negotiations, this couldn't be more true. Your body language can reveal much about your confidence, intentions, and feelings. First, let's talk about posture. Standing or sitting up straight exudes confidence and authority. Slouching, on the other hand, can make you appear uncertain or disengaged. A study by Harvard Business School found that power posing, adopting high-power postures, can increase feelings of confidence. Next, consider your gestures. Open hand movements generally indicate honesty and openness. When you see someone using closed or defensive gestures, like crossing their arms, they might be feeling threatened or uncooperative. Eye contact is another crucial element. Maintaining eye contact can show confidence and sincerity. However, too much eye contact can be intimidating, while too little can be seen as a lack of confidence or honesty. Aim for a balanced, natural amount of eye contact. Pay attention to mirroring as well. This is when one person subconsciously imitates the gestures, posture, or expressions of another. Mirroring can create rapport and make the other person feel understood. If you notice your counterpart mirroring your actions, it's a good sign that you're connecting well. Let's not forget about facial expressions. A genuine smile can go a long way in building trust and rapport. On the other hand, furrowed brows or a tight jaw can indicate stress or disagreement. Watch for signs of discomfort, such as fidgeting, touching the face, or shifting in the seat. These can indicate that the person is uneasy or possibly hiding something. Address their concerns directly to put them at ease and build trust. Your own body language matters, too. Be aware of the signals you're sending. For instance, leaning slightly forward shows interest and engagement, while leaning back can suggest disinterest or skepticism. One interesting fact is that, according to Dr. Albert Mehrabian's research, 55% of communication is through body language. This means paying attention to non-verbal cues can give you an edge in understanding your negotiation partner. Chapter 4. Behavioral Profiling. Predict moves. Like a pro. Behavioral profiling is an advanced strategy that can significantly boost your negotiation skills. It involves understanding and predicting the behavior patterns of your negotiation partner. Start by observing their communication style. Are they direct and to the point, or do they prefer a more relaxed and friendly conversation? Understanding their style can help you tailor your approach. One effective method is the DISC personality model. DISC stands for dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. People usually have a dominant trait that influences their behavior. By identifying this trait, you can predict how they might respond in negotiations. For example, someone with a dominant personality values results and might be very direct. In this case, be concise and focus on the bottom line. On the other hand, a person with a high influence trait values relationships and might appreciate a more personal approach. Steady individuals prefer stability and can be resistant to change. Be patient and provide ample information to help them feel secure. Conscientious people value accuracy and details, so be thorough and prepared with facts and figures. A unique fact is that FBI negotiators often use behavioral profiling to anticipate the moves of the people they negotiate with. This helps them stay one step ahead and craft their strategies effectively. You can also use past behavior to predict future actions. If you've negotiated with this person before, think about what strategies worked or didn't work. Patterns in their responses can give you clues about how to approach them this time. Listening actively is crucial. Pay attention to what they say and how they say it. This can provide valuable insights into their priorities and concerns. Use this information to tailor your proposals to meet their needs better. Another strategy is to identify their negotiation goals. Are they focused on price, quality, timing, or something else? Understanding their primary goal can help you align your offer with what they value most. Chapter 5. Cultural Nuances. Navigate global negotiation landscapes. Navigating cultural nuances in negotiations can be challenging but also incredibly rewarding. Different cultures have unique approaches to negotiation, and understanding these differences can give you a significant edge. First, let's talk about high-context and low-context cultures. High-context cultures, like those in Japan or China, rely heavily on non-verbal communication and context. In contrast, low-context cultures, like the US and Germany, value direct and explicit communication. Understanding this distinction is crucial. In high-context cultures, pay close attention to body language, tone, and even silence. In low-context cultures, be clear and direct with your words. One fascinating fact is that in Japan, silence is often used as a negotiation tactic. It's a way to show respect and give the other party time to think. Don't rush to fill the silence. Instead, use it to reflect and prepare your next move. In contrast, Americans might view silence as discomfort or disagreement. They tend to value quick responses and clear answers. Being aware of these cultural preferences can prevent misunderstandings. Gestures can also have different meanings. For instance, a thumbs up is a positive sign in many Western cultures, but in some Middle Eastern countries, it's considered offensive. Always research the cultural norms of your counterpart before entering negotiations. Let's consider decision-making processes. In many Asian cultures, decisions are made collectively, with a strong emphasis on consensus. This can make the negotiation process longer but ensures that all parties are on board. On the other hand, in Western cultures, decisions are often made quickly by individuals or small groups. Understanding these processes can help you set realistic expectations and timelines. One interesting statistic from the Harvard Business Review shows that 70% of failed cross-cultural negotiations are due to a lack of understanding of cultural differences. This highlights the importance of cultural awareness in achieving successful outcomes. Respect and politeness are universal but can be expressed differently. In some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as a sign of confidence, while in others, it can be perceived as disrespectful or aggressive. Adjust your behavior accordingly to show respect. Building relationships is crucial in many cultures. In Latin American countries, for example, establishing trust and a personal connection often takes precedence over business discussions. Don't rush into negotiations. Take the time to build rapport. A unique quote from the book, Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands, by Terry Morrison and Wayne A. Conaway is, "Cultural intelligence is not just an asset, it's a necessity." This highlights the importance of being culturally savvy in negotiations. Gift-giving can also play a role. In some cultures, like China, presenting a gift is a sign of respect and goodwill. However, in other cultures, it might be seen as inappropriate or even as a bribe. Understand the customs and norms to avoid missteps. Chapter 6: Psychological Triggers. Influence with subtlety. Psychological triggers can subtly yet powerfully influence negotiations. By understanding and utilizing these triggers, you can sway decisions and guide conversations more effectively. One powerful psychological trigger is reciprocity. People tend to return favors. When you give something, whether it's a concession or a compliment, your counterpart feels compelled to give something back. This principle, outlined by Dr. Robert Cialdini in his book, Influence, can be a game changer in negotiations. For instance, start the negotiation by making a small concession. This can encourage the other party to reciprocate, creating a positive cycle of give and take. It sets a collaborative tone and builds goodwill. Scarcity is another trigger. People value things more when they perceive them as limited. Highlighting the uniqueness or limited availability of your offer can make it more attractive. For example, emphasizing a limited time discount can create urgency and prompt quicker decisions. Social proof is also powerful. People tend to follow the actions of others, especially when they are uncertain. Share testimonials, case studies, or examples of others who have benefited from your offer. This can build credibility and trust. Authority is a significant trigger. People are more likely to be persuaded by those they perceive as experts. Demonstrate your expertise through credentials, experience, or by citing reputable sources. This establishes your authority and makes your arguments more convincing. One interesting statistic from a study by Yale University shows that people are 34% more likely to be persuaded by experts. This underscores the importance of establishing authority in negotiations. Consistency is another key principle. People like to be consistent with their past actions and beliefs. Get your counterpart to make small commitments early on. Once they commit, they are more likely to follow through with larger commitments later. Framing is a subtle yet effective technique. The way you present information can significantly impact decisions. For example, presenting an offer as a gain rather than a loss can be more persuasive. Instead of saying, "You'll lose $100 if you don't act now," say, "You'll save $100 if you act now."